Advisory provides 360-degree solutions for a broad range of corporate entities with exposure across the barrel. Our broad product suite, including research, broking and consultancy, provides our clients with unique transparency over a traditionally opaque world of oil swaps. We have now launched 12 new and unique Onyx Benchmarks designed to give our clients an even greater informational edge. To answer some of the critical questions, we have with us today Director of Brokerage at Onyx Advisory, Harry Campion. Welcome, Harry. So first question, what are Onyx Benchmarks and how can they be utilised?
Benchmark is a basket of contracts that track the price of a specific underlying market to provide a better reference point for overall performance. So let's take, for example, the European jet fuel benchmark on the Onyx Hub. If you're tracking European jet fuel prices, there isn't as yet a specific benchmark for the whole region. There are individual contracts that are benchmarks against smaller geographical locations, such as Northwest Europe, the Mediterranean, but not for the whole continent. So we've derived this by analysing data for jet fuel usage on the continent to formulate a specific methodology, which we believe gives a much more accurate reflection of jet fuel prices in Europe as a whole. So if you want to answer the question, what is the price of jet fuel in Europe? Our benchmark will help you answer that question.
Okay, and Onyx Advisory works with corporate entities across the barrel, but who can benefit most from these benchmarks?
Well, the benchmarks have been designed primarily to be more reflective of crude oil and oil products to allow more accurate hedging. So basis risk is a real typical pain point for hedgers, as the difference in value associated to specification and geography can vary quite significantly. So for our shale oil benchmark, for example, right now there are contracts, cleared contracts, that can be used to reflect shale oil prices, but these can vary a lot given the difference in location, which leaves the hedger exposed to pipeline economics, freight economics that are independent completely of the actual oil specification itself. So what we've done is determine the shale output in the US by volume and location, and build a benchmark that is reflective of shale in the US as a whole to negate any distortion in any one place having a disproportionate impact on benchmark shale prices. We've also combined the prices with C5 natural gasoline as a representative reflection of condensate, which is a significant factor in shale oil and its difference to WTI at Cushing. We've done this for all key areas of oil to limit the impact of basis risk and act as a more accurate hedge. But that being said, given the benchmarks are reflective of key oil and oil products around the world, it also allows speculators to reflect their fundamental views using this benchmark. And each benchmark is specifically tailored to a particular section of the market. So European jet fuel benchmark, that could help airlines plan their budgets months in advance using the forward curve. The global marine blended versus packaged benchmark can help both traders and freight operators track the impact of IMO regulatory changes to make a more informed decision on fuel usage or scrubber installation, as well as refiners looking to maximize margins through adjusting their crude slates. But ultimately, anyone with exposure or sensitivity to oil prices can benefit from the transparency that our benchmarks offer.
Okay, and what differentiates Onyx Benchmarks from what is currently available?
Well, there are other refinery margin calculations out there, but none that are trackable in real time against actual live market prices. And there's certainly no other standardized refinery margin that is tradable right now. If you look on the Onyx Hub, the Onyx refinery benchmark is a standardized margin that is being calculated based on proper supply and demand assumptions specific to the area to reflect the actual output by region on the refinery. And this serves to act as, well, both an effective instrument for refiners to hedge, but also for speculators who want exposure to the actual refinery economics themselves. So for example, during 2020, when we had refinery cuts, there may have been opportune moments in the year to buy the margin given the lower rates, but at times returning demand in Asia. And there was a growing disparity between the two. So that information would have been useful for speculators who get real-time visibility on the difference between the two regions. And using our margin models, you would have been able to have got that data real time. And the uniqueness with the benchmarks is that they can be monitored live and more importantly can be traded as you see it during market hours. You can inquire through our brokerage team who can provide you a price on any of the margins or benchmarks themselves during market hours. That's what me and my team are here for, and we're here to field any questions for you.
Okay, and finally, where would we like to see the benchmarks go from here?
Well, we want to get the benchmarks being traded regularly, given their suitability for trading and hedging. We want to build reliability around the benchmarks, credibility among market participants, and develop the market for real-time hedging so we can provide another layer of transparency to the market because that's what we are about as a company.
Great, thanks Harry. So that's everything you need to know about Onyx Benchmarks. Keep following, stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Launched 12 new and informational edge to answer some of the critical questions.
Updated into all of our benchmarks and will continue to do so. All right. My door just swung open. What's that? All right.